Hello from Gardening at Douentza in Ireland, and as you can see today all of the big plants in the greenhouse have been taken out and put on the lawn. And it's the beginning of May, but we've had such unseasonably warm weather that I'm taking the risk of putting them outside and just clearing out the greenhouse because it's so blooming hot in here. Now I have a different plan for this year. As you probably know, what usually happens is I take all the big plants out and put them in the ground, plant them in the ground on the west side of my garden for the summer. And that side of the garden is what I call my exotic look garden. And yeah. Anyway, since the garden isn't open this year, I've decided not to do that. And in fact, I'm not even going to plant these plants in the garden. And the reason for that is simple. Whereas I might have enough energy to actually do that at the moment, I have a great big fear that come October, November, when the weather fades and when spirits get a little low, that I may not have the energy or the inclination to dig them up and put them back in the greenhouse. And of course, if I didn't do that, then I'd lose all these very large plants, which I know I do love very much, and that would be a terrible shame. So kind of knowing myself, what I'm going to do is just leave them in pots outside this year, keep them watered, and then next year hopefully I'll feel differently about things. As you probably know, my son Josh died just over 2 months ago, and things have been very difficult since. But I'm very lucky because I do have the wonderful support of my husband and my other 3 children, including my youngest son who's 15, Sam, and some very good friends as well, so that has helped enormously. Anyway, the reason why I'm making this video is just to say thank you to the outpouring of positive and supportive words that were under the previous videos I made and the PMs I got as well. And I think it's very helpful to see how much good there is out there. In this age of electronic communication, people can still connect on a personal level. I just want to say that I read all of the comments and all of the messages I was sent, although in many instances I didn't have the strength to reply directly to you. And I felt bad about that in a way, because there was such an outpouring of people's own experience, and many people have been through very traumatic things. And I would have liked to have been able to support you in some way. I also want to say that I hope you will remember that just because I have a YouTube channel, that doesn't mean I'm any better able to offer personal advice. And I did receive some messages from people who'd suffered traumatic experiences as children, and also a couple of private messages, but one in particular from some guy who said that he felt I was the mother that he'd never had. I understand that my video has released a cascade of emotions, but while these messages are very touching, they're also a bit worrying at the same time. And I just want to reiterate as well that I'm just a person who happens to make a YouTube channel, and I don't have answers. I can't know the complications and hurts in your life, and just because I've had an overwhelming bereavement myself, it doesn't, I don't actually personally have the strength to help other people through. So while I feel very humbled that some people have chosen to confide in me, I must say that please do seek out help from those that you trust, or professionals if needs be. And finally, I note that many people in sharing their experiences have also shared their religious beliefs, and I understand that. If something has meaning to you and you feel it might offer comfort to others, then you offer it. But please know that I don't believe in God and find no comfort in those words. And I'm not saying this as an angry reaction to what's happened to me. It's a measured and long-held belief. I respect the rights of others to their beliefs, so you should also respect mine, now that you know them. In terms of my relationship with plants at the moment, it's all a bit ambivalent. I mean, I know on an intellectual level that I love these plants because I've loved them up until very recently, but I certainly don't feel it in my heart. And you know that enormous excitement when something comes into flower, or the excitement of ordering new orchids and for them coming in the post and unwrapping them, and that feeling that it gives you, it's not there. Now I know it's going to come back. I know, this is the way things are at the moment, and I know this feeling will come back. So what I have to do is just keep ticking over until such a time that I can feel that way again.